Have you ever noticed how a woman can post a photo online and you can look at that photo and you know that A, she's uncomfortable with what she has on. It does not flatter her. It is showing things that it honestly should not show. But then you go to the comments and there are all sorts of encouraging comments like, yes, sis, you thick, sis. This looks good, sis. Oh, I love the confidence, sis. I wish I had the confidence and the ability to do these things. And I believe that all of these compliments are backhanded. They're backhanded ways of saying you would look good if. And I'm not fat shaming. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be able to post whatever they want to post and whatever they'd like to have on. But based on what I'm seeing across the board, even these women with this whole body positivity movement and posting, I'm going to wear it anyway. They make it in my size. I'm going to wear it. Put it on, girl. Don't worry about what anybody else has to say. I personally feel like if you have to make comments like that, you and I both know that you probably should not be wearing that. And you certainly shouldn't be posting it for the world to see, because even if you get a few positive comments, you're likely to get some negative comments as well. So in this video, I want to talk about how people will encourage obesity, all the while being backhanded the entire time. Now, I might be wrong about this, but these are my feelings. And I know that you guys are going to tap in and let me know what you think. In our community, being thick, having a big butt, small waist, all of those things has long been what people are striving for. But what has happened with this standard American diet is that not only do we have, wide hips and a big butt that might be appealing, we also have these apron bellies and this thick around the middle and this visceral fat that's causing each and every one of us to be sick. And the only time I feel like your stomach should be sticking out is if you are with child. If you are not pregnant, you should not be looking pregnant. And there are a lot of women walking around here today looking more pregnant and not being pregnant than they ever have in their lives. And again, I'm not body shaming. Everybody has their own road that they have to travel. And there may be some people that honestly are comfortable being overweight, but I'm not finding that to be the case. For decades, our culture has insulted curvy black women, have insulted, overweight women. And unfortunately, we are the largest or the most obese demographic in the United States. And I would love to see that change. We have taken pride in being thick. And I think that we need to do a slight mindset shift. Now, we got a lot going on in this country. We got bigger fish to fry, and I know that there are a lot of people that's got some problems beyond the fact that they are obese. But obesity does not need to be a problem in addition to the ones that we can't help, because that is one of the things that you have the ability to control. And I would love to see some of us get control over it. These online spaces, they reward images that get attention. And I'm sadly finding out that negative attention is attention, and that many people don't mind doing things that they know they should not be doing, even though, it's detrimental to their well-being. If it gets the likes and the views, they are willing to do it no matter what. And that's a problem. I don't care how you look at it, that's a problem. Many men will post flattering comments under videos or pictures that I think clearly demonstrate that this person has a lack of self-control and that they cannot get their weight under control. And many women attribute the fact that men are complimenting them on, the way they look being okay. And at the end of the day, for me, all I care about is that I'm comfortable with the way that I look. And I have carried, a couple 100 pounds around and never had any issues, with the male gaze or men talking to me or trying to talk to me. So I understand the feeling that, we don't have to do anything special or specific to get the attention of men. And they should not be the reason why we do some of the things that we do. We need to look a certain way and feel a certain way because that's what makes us happy. And that what allows us to be healthy. And we shouldn't be concerned about what somebody else is saying. So, men encouraging obesity was something that I used to get everybody's attention because I think there are a lot of men that do encourage obesity and they do it for, various different reasons. Sometimes the praise is false and they're just doing it to get attention because I am a believer that men date who they can. And if they can, talk somebody into doing something that they want to do, if you're slightly overweight, that's okay with them. I think a lot of men also say, I like them thick, especially black men, because many of them are walking around here unhealthy. They're looking pregnant too. And if they got somebody that's overweight, they don't have to concern themselves with how they look or the changes that they need to make. So they go along with it when both parties could be getting healthy together. These common comments sometimes validate a person when they're in a space where they're not ready to make the changes that need to be made. But once you come to realize that all of this stuff is unhealthy for you, you will be more willing to make the changes. It's a form of flattery. It's a way to make you feel good, but it sometimes keeps women trapped in denial. And I don't care what you say. A lot of women really do care about what men think because when I talk to, some of these women or I've seen some of these comments on my videos since I've been talking about this whole obesity trend with black women, and they always want to talk about how they don't have any issue getting a man. I don't think anybody honestly has an issue getting a man. Men are not difficult to get. That's just not a thing. Men like women. And they like all women. And there's somebody for everybody. That doesn't change the fact that we need to be healthy and we need to be mindful of what we're doing. We need to decenter the fact that men want a certain thing and be more focused on what we need to be focused on to get our acts together. Now, this whole body positivity movement has been going for a while. I love my body. I love the skin that I'm in. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. You mad because I'm confident and you're not. I just think that's a coping mechanism for people that lack self-control. Because I can't imagine after being over 230 pounds and now being at my goal weight of 160 pounds, I can't imagine anybody that would rather carry around that extra 70 or 80 pounds. That just don't make sense to me. I've done it. I've had to walk around with it, climbing stairs, walking distances, finding clothes that fit, not feeling good after you eat. Nobody wants to go through that. Not to mention that morbid obesity contributes to some very serious health issues that a lot of black women suffer from. And as a black woman, being the lowest person on the totem pole, as well as the most obese person on the totem pole, we got to get our act together because it is never a good time when you have people that are constantly, putting their thumb on you and you don't feel like you have the ability to get up. And I want all of us to be able to move. I want us to be able to move and shake and do all the things that we need to do. And we're going to do that by getting this weight off of us and also making sure that our mental health is in check so nobody can just tell us something and we go along with it because it makes us feel better. Now, back to this body positivity movement. It was initially started to stop bullying, to stop having people bully someone simply because they were overweight. Because if you smile about it, if you like it, if you're proud of it, they can't pick at you about it. So we started this whole body positivity movement as a way to get people up off of us. Just get off of me. I am perfectly happy in the skin I'm in. If you don't like it, too bad for you. And there are a lot of celebrities that helped us with that. And there are three that I'm just going to mention real briefly. First being Monique, who was very famous for her slogan of how she hates skinny bitches. And that being skinny was a waste of time. But now, Miss Monique is up in her 50s, probably early 60s, and now she is exercising, she is slim and trim, and she is on a different path trying to encourage others to be thin as well. There's another TikTok influencer, Instagram influencer, Miss Remy Bader. She was a Caucasian young lady who was morbidly obese, and she gained millions of followers by finding clothing that wouldn't typically look good on somebody her size and style them in a way that would look good. And then she disappeared from the internet and popped back in as a 120-pound skinny girl that those people could no longer relate to. I believe she had weight loss surgery. And the internet wanted to run her off because her whole stick was body positivity and how to make your body look good under those circumstances. And she's no longer overweight. She's 120 pounds and the world is mad at her. And our most famous person was Miss Lizzo, who I can recall seeing a commercial with her in a clawfoot bathtub full of cookies and pralines and candy and all sorts of things, just screaming, you know, you can eat whatever you want to eat, you can have whatever you want to have. I can remember her being close to 300 pounds in a pair of chaps at a Lakers basketball game. You know, she was just the body positivity queen. Now, when you see her, Miss Lizzo is slim and trim and steadily working to lose weight. So all that says to me is this whole body positivity movement or being morbidly obese, people are figuring out that it is the most unhealthy thing for us and that it leads to all sorts of medical issues and complications that we could simply avoid by eating right, keeping our weight under control, keeping our blood pressure under control, and not consuming things that's going to increase our chances of getting diabetes or heart disease or something of that nature. Each of these women discovered that changing the way you look did not mean that you don't love yourself. Women love themselves, and the way that you show that you love yourself is by simply doing everything that you possibly can to take care of yourself. These influencers and celebrities that celebrated, you know, body positivity and that being fat was okay, were under pressure to appear confident even when they were struggling physically and emotionally. And I think that we need to recognize that we all struggle from something. But I don't like the idea that the demographic of woman that looks like me is struggling with obesity that's leading to so many other health issues. So in this day and age, I want to encourage health, not size. If you are healthy and everything is under control and you weigh 200 pounds, as long as you're healthy, that's all that matters. Not everybody is meant to be skinny, but I want everybody to be healthy. Men, we care about what you think. We care about what you say. We love when you encourage us, when you make good comments for us. Use that praise for good. Praise effort. I know you feel like we don't care what you have to say and how you have to say it, and we don't typically want to hear from you guys, but we do. And when you praise us, it makes us happy. So that's why a lot of these women will, you know, take these compliments that I think are backhanded as good compliments because they care about what you say and what you want. One of my favorite TikTokers is Miss Jones. And she sits on TikTok with all of these large portions of food that her husband makes for her. And she'll sit and smack and chew and eat the whole while. And she is morbidly obese. And believe it or not, I was scrolling through TikTok the other day and I saw a actual video of her in the gym exercising. Now, I don't believe that you can out-train a bad diet. However, the fact that Miss Jones, I think her name is Zacchaeus Jones, is working out tells me that she's coming to realize that all that food that she's sitting on TikTok eating is not to her benefit. It is making her a lot of money with the brands and the likes and the views and all those things, but I'm sure it's detrimental to her health. And she wants to do everything in her power to be healthy, just like the rest of us. And women, We have got to be honest with ourselves. Stop letting people BS us and tell us all kind of foolishness. If something doesn't feel flattering, if you aren't comfortable wearing certain things, if you are winded trying to get in and out of your car, if you can't cross your legs or bend down and tie your shoes, it's a problem. And it's time for us to get real. My apologies for the change in scenery. I didn't realize until I was editing my video that the end got cut out. So I wanted to pick up where I left off by simply saying this is not about being skinny. The goal is to be strong, confident, and healthy. And I'm not trying to body shame anybody. I just wanted to shed some light on how sometimes compliments can be backhanded and not mean exactly what they are supposed to mean. And we can sometimes take these things as compliments when in actuality we are being insulted in one way or another. And I don't want to allow for likes and views and engagement to keep us from doing what we need to do to live the best possible lives that we can live. It's not about shaming anybody. It's about encouraging our demographic, our community to stop glorifying things that make us sick and start celebrating health and wellness. We need to normalize being thin. We need to normalize that. All of this, being thick and thicker than a Snicker and wear it, girl, if it looks good on you or not, or if you like it, wear it, all those kinds of things. It needs to look good on you. And I'm not saying you should measure the way you look towards anybody else's standard other than your own. But we know that walking around morbidly obese is not the way to live the life that we deserve to the absolute fullest. So I hope this video resonated with some people. I know the season gang is going to pop in and drop a few comments and have a few things to say and maybe be able to shed a little bit more light on this conversation that we've been having. But until the next time, the season lady is signing out. I was just getting ready to go to bed and decided to edit my video, and I'm so glad that I did so that I could come back and fix this ending for you guys. So until the next time, the season lady is signing out. I hope each and every one of you have a fabulous day, and I will chat with you soon. So until the next time, toodles.